Well,
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. All the guys want, I want what Mayweather got. I want what Mayweather got. You didn't bust your ass like Mayweather. I was trying to fight every fighter. I sacrificed a lot to get to where I got to.
What do you bring to the table?
Let's get this on. Let's do it. Well, it's like this. Wait.
All right, that's it. Hold on. Bernard, everybody calm down.
Man, you know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I sacrificed a lot. ThaBoxingvoice.com to get to where I got to. ThaBoxingvoice.com.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. We are back with another spontaneous edition of the Boxing Voice, hashtag TBV podcast. Today, we'll be talking heavyweight division. As you know, it is booming and really making a lot of headlines. But at the end of this month, Anthony Joshua will be putting his title on the line. Titles, multiple IBO, WBA, and IBF titles versus the WBO current heavyweight champion Joseph Parker from Samoan descent, but from New Zealand. And they had a gloves off episode that's usually done by the network of Sky Sports. And there was a very interesting quote that we are going to be talking about, where he's obviously talking about Tyson Fury, calls Tyson Fury a clown, and says that Wilder could have been in the position that Joseph Parker is in had he just stepped up to the plate. So if this is something you're interested in, something you want to debate, something you want to partake in, by calling the number 1-425-569-5241 or adding Nestor Gibbs on Skype, that's NESTORGIBBS, feel free, because we'll be here chopping it up. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you do like the topic. This way we know to bring you more shows based on these categories. We're going to go out to the Golden State to my co-host, the Hipster Hunter.
Production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rope into a knockout. Now, when the main thing is, I just help the guy. I wish.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yes, the Hipsters here. Haters beware. And I love the energy in this gloves off with Johnny Nelson, Anthony Joshua, and Joseph Parker. I thought it was definitely entertaining. I've yet to see the whole thing, but I've seen most of it at this point. And this clip, especially, that we're going to talk about, I love it. I think Anthony Joshua is saying all the right things, and he is definitely acting the part of the superstar, of the number one guy in the division. And we're going to get into the merit of, did Wilder, could be in the spot? Could have Wilder been in Joseph Parker's spot here? And instead he was just talking. Is there any truth to that, or is there just a narrative being at play here by Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua, and it's a great narrative. There's definitely so much to get into. Can't wait to chop it up with you, Ness, and the callers.
Yeah, man. I mean, I definitely enjoyed the episode, and I would love to do a full review on the gloves is off. The intensity between the two men was something to enjoy, and Joseph Parker really excited me. His kind of caution to the wind attitude, nonchalantness, and definitely brutally honest with both Joshua and Johnny Nelson. Nelson definitely tried to make it clear that the words and quotes, headlines portrayed in the media by Team Parker not only originated from Team Parker, but that Joseph himself was in agreements. And when he said that live on the show, Nelson just turns to Josh and he's like, how do you feel about that? We know that the team's been talking, but here he goes. He said that he backs everything they say. It was a great instigator, and the line came out.
Yeah, Joseph Parker usually is, talked about as a very soft-spoken guy. Traditionally, he's not one to really be a loudmouth like a Tyson Fury, a Deontay Wilder, or even an Anthony Joshua, I would say, at certain points. We've never seen Joseph Parker have a Dominic Brazil moment like Anthony Joshua had, until really this moment. And we were just in camp with Joseph Parker, and he even said this was a team effort. The entire, Clubber Lang effort they put together to get this fight with Anthony Joshua was a team effort. They came together and decided everything they were going to do. So I'm not surprised that Joseph Parker is coming in here with some energy and feeling a certain way, because he's planned this. He's planned to be the instigator to get the fight. I'm not surprised he is still the instigator in front of Joshua.
Well, I want to go ahead and play the audio just to give the world the facts so that it doesn't get mixed up. Let me do that.
I'm hearing a few rumors that maybe Tyson Fury will walk in the ring on the night.
That's what a lot of people have been saying. Nothing's been locked in.
Is this part of mind games? Is it, is it something that you'd like to happen? Is this,
we're good friends, so you never know what can happen come fight night.
Does that make a difference to you?
Like, I'll punch him out the ring as well. Tyson's a clown, man. I'm not worried about no one else. Wilder could have been here. Wilder could have been fine, but he didn't step up. He talked it, but he didn't step up. He did. That's the difference. And that's why I respect and I have to honor the challenge.
So, what do you think of the audio, buddy?
Well, one, I like that he said he would knock Tyson Fury out of the ring too. That was funny. The idea of stepping up. What does that mean? That Joseph Parker just took the lower offer, and that's what it means by stepping up. We still have really yet to hear from, I would say, Eddie Hearn as to, was there a reply from those two contracts sent out for Las Vegas and one for London by Shelly Finkel and Al Heyman and Deontay Wilder? Like I've yet to hear anything back from Eddie Hearn about that. So I don't know. Did Wilder not step up? Did he just offer too high of a contract or too high of a split for himself? And that's their out. It's this whole Wilder saying 50-50 in the media, their way out as to him not stepping up because he's pricing himself out. I don't know what does stepping up mean, in Joshua's eyes, but it's a great narrative, in my opinion.
Narrative, Matt, if you say that it's a narrative, you're going to be singled out as Anthony Joshua
hater,
prosecutor.
Ooh. Yeah, look, here's the thing. If Anthony Joshua thinks that Deontay Wilder is not stepping up by wanting too high of a purse split, then I think we have different definitions of stepping up. And I think if you want to use the term, the excuse of money, I'm talking to all the fans out there right now. If you want to use the excuse of money as to Deontay Wilder not wanting this fight, using air quotes, then that's fine. You can use that. I think that's kind of a bullshit narrative to do, because obviously there was not an extensive negotiation period between Wilder and Joshua before the Parker fight. There wasn't. There was one meeting. There was two contracts sent out from Team Wilder, no reply back. Obviously, it wasn't an extensive negotiation period. Obviously, they wanted Joseph Parker first. So to me, it's playing narratives. It's saying the right things to sell the fight. And I'm not crucifying Joshua for saying this. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to say this. It's the right thing to say this if you're Team Joshua. I'm actually almost applauding him for saying this because it's the right thing to say. It's going to get, Wilder fans pissed off. It's going to get Joshua fans, ignited. Like, yeah, he's pricing himself out talking about Wilder. It's gonna play to the sides to sell the fight. Whether it's true or not almost doesn't matter at this point. It's just to sell the fight. And again, that may be overlooking Joseph Parker, and I think Anthony Joshua is vastly overlooking Joseph Parker, in my opinion. He is thinking 2 steps ahead. Joshua is the Mayweather right now in terms of trying to set up this mega fight with a Pacquiao or so to speak. So I think master stroke, master quote by Anthony Joshua. Whether you believe it or not, whether you think he's right or not, doesn't matter. He got you emotional about it, most likely.
Now, will the fanboys and the writers looking for clicks use this headline to further navigate that narrative?
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
Like other publications, do you think they're going to take this quote, Wilder could have been here, but he didn't step up? Or the fanboys like, oh, Joshua just said it on the gloves is off. Wilder didn't step up. Why didn't he take the offer, Ness? But like, what step up mean? Where's the offer? What is he step up to what exactly?
Stepping up to the challenge. I mean, again, I think in Joshua's mind, or maybe not his mind, in the way that he is spinning the story. We met with both teams. If I'm Joshua, we met with Wilder's team. We met with Parker's team. Parker's team was more interested. They seemed like they really wanted to step up. Wilder's team was asking for stuff that just wasn't reasonable. So they obviously didn't really want it. They wanted to fight Luis Ortiz, who was coming off some PED issues. It is what it is. We're gonna say Joseph Parker, who really wanted it because he took the deal. That's the narrative. That's the spin. Am I wrong?
Nah, I mean, I don't think you're wrong, Matt. I'm just trying to attack it from all angles, make sure that we, address every side of the coin.
If I want to be devil's advocate here, right, and if I want to be a Joshua protector, I guess, right? That's the other side here. And again, I don't think I'm really bashing Joshua here or being critical of Joshua. I'm thinking, but again, if I'm being a Joshua fan, saying 50-50 in the media was a poor move by Wilder, to say the least. It wasn't it at least gave Joshua the out. It gave Eddie Hearn enough narrative maneuver to do to get out of that fight in the immediacy. So I'm not surprised that.
Yeah, but there's a double standard anyway. It wouldn't matter what the B-side party said or did. A-side always is in control. And when you're talking about Joshua and Eddie Hearn, I mean, the double standard is the Big Baby Miller announcement and how that would possibly be next. And, no one was upset.
There was some that were upset, obviously. Like there was U.S. media that was upset. U.S. boxing channels that were upset. But no, I think, but we even said this, Ness, I told you this, if they had in guarantee that they would fight next, if AJ fought Miller, Wilder fought White, and there was in the contract they would be fighting next, everyone would be happy with it. Everyone would be okay with it. I think all parties involved would be okay with that as well, including Heyman, Finkel, Wilder, Joshua, and Hearn.
Well, I mean, final thoughts really on this step up comment and him calling, I guess, Tyson Fury a clown. You know what? Before we get final thoughts, actually, what about the fact that this comment and quote released breaking news? Tyson Fury is going to enter the ring. FYI, so is Deontay Wilder. we're gonna have a 4-man tourney in the ring for sure because Joseph will still be there. Joshua, Tyson, and Deontay. This is gonna be one big clusterfuck come fight night.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how that's gonna go down, and who's gonna start getting a little more wild first, whether it be Tyson or Wilder, because it's gonna be one of them. One of them's gonna start getting a little more active in the ring, and shit's gonna start popping off. Like it's gonna be some of the best TV.
I'm just telling you this.
It's gonna be a moment in boxing. I hope you know that.
I've
if
seen
4 of those guys are in the ring together, it will be a moment in boxing history that we will look back on.
I've seen Anthony Joshua now twice, Matt, under the cameras in tense moments where everyone's on pins and needles waiting to see what's going to be said next, and he gives you the most serious response and stare. And I just can't wait to see if it's going to be the same demeanor when Deontay's across the street.
It will. It will. That's what's going to make the fight that special, is that they are two real ones.
Because he just looks at Joseph and he's like, I want you to say you're going to knock me out. That's what you said. I want you to say that to me. And then Joseph, balls weighing 10,000 pounds, he said, what round you want? Oh, shit. That was the best. I couldn't think of a better comeback. He didn't say, oh, I'm going to knock you out. He didn't just repeat the champ. No.
That was good.
Yeah, it was fucking good. He said, what round you want? Gloves is off, did his job. It got me fucking hyped, man. I'm telling you that I was into like 3 minutes of it, and I'm like, Matt, we got to do this review. I wish that we were able to show you and just pause it on. I need to pause it on certain facial expressions. It's not the same if you can't see what I see, and let me read and give you my story, how I'm interpreting the body language, because that's what I fall in love with. Joshua's demeanor, how he tries to punk people. I love it. He's a tough ass dude. I just wonder, is it going to be the same when it's the bronze bomber across the chair from him? But Joshua and Joseph, well, really Joseph, because Joshua's already proven that, his character and demeanor in face-offs and in gloves are off are the same. But really, really happy to see Joseph Parker step it up like that. Really happy, because you could be a lame-o. You could be a lame-o just there like, oh, we'll see on fight night. Oh, I'm not going to give away my game plan. We'll see on fight night. Nah, he's like, I'm going to chase you. Everything about this Gloves is Off I liked, except really the host, to be honest with you. Johnny Nelson was kind of whack. Like,
I'm going to say that Max does a much better job of like the US version of it. They call it the face-off, right? Whatever. I think Max is able to add suspense to moments. Johnny doesn't.
Who ripped who off first?
Ooh.
Was that a face-off thing and they made Gloves Off, or did we steal Gloves is Off and change it to face?
I don't want to say that I'm correct, but I want to say Gloves are off, ripped off, face off, or faces off, whatever the HBO version is. I want to say HBO is first.
If you're wrong, you're going to be known as the biased American reporter who thinks that, we make everything great. You fucking yank. You stole Face Off from us. Gloves is Off was out 1989. I mean, dude, you fucked up right now. That Bernie Mac soundbite. I need that Bernie Mac soundbite. You fucked up, right? Was that Bernie Mac? It's the Boys in the Hood, ain't it? I don't know. Just keep repeating. I think it's Boys in the Hood. He's like, you done fucked up, right?
I don't think that's Bernie Mac.
You pay in the precinct. So it's New Jersey Drive, is it?
No, it's New Jersey Drive then. It's not Boys in the Hood.
And the black cop just repeating to him like, you done fucked up, right? But he's got that real calm, psycho, sadistic voice and shit. It's like, you done fucked up. Muhammad, you done fucked up. You called into the show. First time caller, Muhammad, where you calling in from?
Hi, mate. I'm calling from Manchester, England.
Manchester, what's up, brother?
No, just I like listen to you guys quite a lot. Must just go. You guys have got a great show.
Thank you.
Watched the Wilder fight against Ortiz. Man, I was impressed by Wilder, I must say. He showed a lot of heart to come through and, knocked Ortiz out. He has been avoided for the last 5 or 6 years. I just got a couple of questions to ask you guys, see what your views are on this. I mean, I've heard you guys say a lot that, that's including Wilder as well, that he's been avoiding, like Anthony Joshua has been avoiding Wilder for seems like years. I mean, how does that work out? I mean, it's really been after the Klitschko fight when he unified the division that Wilder's been calling him out, and he's in a second unification, and his promoter, what I've heard, wants to make the fight. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's the biggest fight in boxing. So I don't really understand how Joshua could anyway be avoiding Wilder at all. What do you guys think about that?
I think that if you think Joshua's been avoiding Wilder for any period of time, it's been after the Klitschko fight. Before then, I don't really see it, but that is just me.
That's like what? How many months? 3 months? How could someone be avoiding someone for 3 months when he's already in a unification with Joseph Parker? That's a bit unfair, don't you guys think?
Well, I mean, look, you gotta.
Ness, let me answer this very, very quickly. You just said that Wilder's the biggest fight in boxing. If that's the biggest fight in boxing, then make it now. You don't need to make the Joseph Parker fight in order to make it any bigger, right? You already said it's the biggest fight in boxing. So that would be the point. That would be the point in Wilder, is that if I'm the biggest fight, then take me right now. Let's go right now. Don't take Joseph Parker. I don't need to fight Luis Ortiz. Let's go right now. In fact, but that didn't happen.
Well, I'll be honest with you, mate. Me as a fan, I would rather watch Wilder against Joshua than Joshua against Parker. I'll be honest with you there. But according to his promoter, again, I mean, I don't want to get into politics. We as fans, we just want to see the fight. But you can't blame the guy for fighting Parker. I mean, Parker is a world champion at the end of the day. He's no bum or anything.
Blaming him.
Yeah, but Muhammad, let me ask you something. You think if Deontay Wilder had the luxury, he wouldn't be fighting Joseph Parker right now? Like, what heavyweight fan doesn't think Joseph Parker is the weakest link in the heavyweight? He's out to prove that he's not the weakest link. He struggled with Andy Ruiz, and Matt and others think he lost versus Huey Fury. How is he not considered the weakest link? He hasn't suffered adversity. He hasn't suffered adversity. He hasn't been punched in the face. He hasn't had the win that a win that is Klitschko or a win that is Luis Ortiz.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. Amongst all the world heavyweight champs, he is the weakest link. But the thing is, if you want to be undisputed, you got to go through him. That's just simple as. And if Joshua is choosing to go in front against him, I don't actually blame him for that. Why not? He's going to need to go through him at some point. And he's not saying like Wilder fight is not going to happen. Actually, if you look at the UK side of things, they're wanting the fight to happen in 2018 at some point. So I wouldn't say that Joshua is actually avoiding Wilder at all. I mean, it's good PR thing and everything. I mean, in terms of the splits and everything, I mean, that's like something I wouldn't want to get into. But, man, what a fight that would be, Joshua against Wilder, though. And I actually rate Wilder a lot. I think he's got a devastating right hand. I mean, he hit Ortiz with the kitchen sink in that 10th round. And what he came through, I actually became his fan. I didn't really rate Wilder that much before the Ortiz fight, but kudos to him. He is a dangerous, dangerous fight for Joshua. Could go out either way, 50-50.
Anything else, Muhammad?
No, I was just saying, like, there's a lot of negative things out here. I mean, with all due respect to you guys' channel as well. I mean, I was just saying, like, as a UK sort of dude and Anthony Joshua's fan as well, I think it's a bit unfair to say that Joshua is avoiding Wilder. That's it. I just wanted to get the point across. But shout out to you guys. You guys are doing a great job. Have a good time. Thank you. Cheers.
Muhammad, excellent call. Great first-time call. Thank you. Hope you continue to call in. It would be good to have you call in during our live immediate reactions of the live fight chats. We will be doing a Wilder Anthony Joshua, even if I got to carry, because it's not like I never took this equipment everywhere, Matt. I have made it happen from Florida on Thanksgiving.
And we're also doing Anthony Joshua, Joseph Parker as well.
Yeah. No, but I mean that one particularly, because that will probably be in the UK. We'll probably have to be live at that fight. And that being said, like
you meant like when we're actually in the UK for Wilder and Joshua and we're live in the stadium doing a show there. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be the stadium, but yeah, definitely
figure it
want to be live.
We have Wilders in. Like we could just say, "Hey, Wilder, come on."
Yeah, well, we'll see. For all we know, Eddie Hearn will have us flagged. Like, nope, you guys are not allowed. Can't sit with us.
Nope, not. I can't even give you 10 minutes, mate.
So, all right, we got a few more callers. We're gonna get out to who do we got here? We got Alex in Russia. What's going on, Alex? Always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Yeah, what's going on? Listen, I don't really see any point in having this discussion right now because right now it's just pure speculation, meaning that we have no idea what the hell he meant by this statement. That Wilder didn't step up. What does it mean? He didn't really explain it, didn't he?
I mean, but what else can it mean? It's the fight game. If you didn't step up to the plate, that means you didn't take the challenge. You didn't sign the contract.
No. But what I mean is that what is he referring to? The only thing that I can think of that he alluded to is that the Wilder statement about 50-50 split or no fight. And well, if that's the case, then just say it. I mean, what's the point? And by the way, Matt, I don't think it's playing devil's advocate when you say that it was dumb of Wilder to say something like that, because it really was, and now you have Joshua saying that shit, that he didn't step up, and a lot of casual fans that don't really follow boxing and, don't know, don't know everything that's happening behind the curtains. Now they all think that, despite Wilder screaming all the time and calling Josh out, it was actually his fault that the fight didn't happen. So that kind of backfired. These are my thoughts. And by the way, do you have any update on what's his name, Tyson Fury? Like, what's up with his weight loss?
The only update, well, the weight loss looks significant, but the only other update is that allegedly he's going to be walking Joseph Parker, his buddy, into the ring. According to this Gloves is Off, that is the word.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Well, wait, isn't who's the guy that Joseph Parker fought last? Fury, what's his name?
Yeah, Huey Fury.
Yeah, that's his brother, isn't it?
They're cousins, I believe.
Yeah, then why the hell is walking him? That's weird. That doesn't make any sense, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
well, Alex, let me get to some other callers. Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, Matt. You were cutting in and out anyway, R2D2 style.
Shout out to you. I mean, Wilder spoke to us in Alabama, and he said that.
Well, repeat that, because it sounds like you said Wilder smoked with us. No, they will give a fuck. Believe me.
Wilder talked to us in Alabama, and he said that they've all sort of talked to each other behind the scenes, and they're all sort of friendly behind the scenes. I mean,
yeah, he said he texted with Joshua, and Joshua said that he's texted with Tyson. So
I wouldn't be surprised if Joseph Parker's texted with all of them as well, and they're all. I mean, these guys are all around each other.
Joe definitely seems different, but maybe.
I mean, Joe seems like he's a nice guy. He seems like he could have a beer with anyone at the end of the day. He's a Kiwi. They're all friendly people.
Well, let's go out to a friendly friend here. We got Michael. Talk to us.
Hello, guys. You guys all right?
Good. We're good. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good. I saw this topic. I thought I had to chime in here. Set the record straight for us. Someone has to defend Joshua in this situation. So, this is how I see it. And I see what's happened. Is that number one? Eddie Hearn wants all the leverage as possible. So when he goes into the table with Wilder, they can have as much power in that situation as possible. That's why he's gone for Parker. Now, all this offers and, he said 50%, they're saying they're denying or whatever that situation. Eddie Hearn has always had the plan to fight Parker before Wilder. Now, does that mean he's ducking Wilder? No, I don't believe so, because he's going to fight Wilder eventually. This is all about negotiation time, because Joshua does not rate Wilder anyways. He thinks he can beat him. Every time he's mentioned Wilder, he's always talking like he's better than him. So whether you guys think that's the case or not, that's not, that's how Joshua feels. So I just feel like, people shouldn't be down on Joshua because he's negotiating a better term. He's trying to negotiate better terms for himself when he eventually fights Wilder. I don't think that's nothing wrong with that.
Let me just jump in here real quick. I'd like to let the world know that this is Michael K, a expert in Anthony Joshua body language.
I'm not an expert in body language. I'm just basing it on how he's talking and what he's saying. Like numerous of times in the past, he said, "Oh, every time he mentions Wilder, he goes, oh well, he hasn't really stepped up yet. He hasn't really stepped up like I have. He's saying like he's above him, like he's not at my level yet. The way he's talking, do you know what I mean?
Or like Tank Davis and Vasyl Lomachenko. Vasyl wants Tank. Tank says, I don't need to. I'm young. Vasyl is in a hurry. When you usually dancing, you usually shucking and jiving.
No. I don't think so. Because you can't compare the two. One, Josh was already in his second unification fight already in 21 fights, whereas Wilder has just had his first test or so-called test. So you can't really
spoken like a true Anthony Joshua protector. That's the first thing comes out. Who's he fought? He hasn't fought anybody. And now it's changed.
It's true.
Yo, now it's changed. It went from who's he fought to he just stepped up. And the real haters, the bitter ones, Matt, the ones that wake up with their black heart, they say he only faced a 48. No, they actually use the number 70 now. I see that a lot. They faced a 70-year-old Ortiz. Jesus, that's their autograph right there. AJ protectors.
I never said 70. I said 50.
There you go. Well, Michael.
Anyways, defending Joshua, I just believe that there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. In regards to the path that he's going through, he's going to fight Wilder eventually, and when he does, he'll beat him easily. I don't think Joshua saw anything in that Ortiz fight that's going to affect that phases him. I think is more reaffirmed.
He saw that right hand. I know that. He saw that right hand hit the top of the head and caused Luis Ortiz to look like Zab Judah versus Costa Zoo. Don't you forget it. Imagine a clean right hand.
Joshua ain't 70, like you said.
Yo, imagine a clean right hand, though.
Bomb squad!
Yeah, we'll see. Look, we'll see. Yeah, I said it all along. Where we can't rely on one thing.
Here we go. Look at the AJ protector in the chat. 70-year-old Ortiz almost became the new until the bomb squad finally arrived. Look at that. 70-year-old. I'm telling you, that's the new number out there. Listen, Michael, let me get to some other callers. Wrap it up, baby.
No problems. Hey, no problems. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I'm looking forward to when Wilder eventually fights Joshua and Joshua kicks his ass and you guys eating pie.
Hey, you better not be counting out Joseph Parker. We were in Las Vegas with Joseph Parker. That boy is 26 years old. He's 2 years younger than Joshua, and he wants everything Joshua has, okay? He's never lost, and he don't know how to lose. And he's coming with that Samoan heart, and he's coming to take what is Joshua's. Believe that.
Well, he doesn't learn. Well, that's why Joshua's going to take him to school.
I don't know. He said he's going to be chasing Joshua around the ring. Let's see, because Joshua gasses. If he makes Joshua work early, Matt, gets in on the inside of Joshua's range, instead of letting him be a mid guy, get on the inside, muscle him up on the ropes, hit him to the body a little bit, clinch him. I don't know. I mean, you were there. They're not coming to get a check. That's for sure. They didn't negotiate rematch terms for nothing. They ain't undefeated for nothing. Wait, that was another heavyweight said that. Hold up. Let me get to our last caller of the day. We're going to go to Steve. Talk to us, Steve. Oh, shit, we got more callers over there. Matt got one listed as Troll. So, hey, Troll, you might as well hang up. Matt pegged you already. Super producer at work. We're going to Steve. Go.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure about what Joshua was saying that he ain't stepping up. I think that's just talk. obviously Wilder's been doing loads of talking, so maybe he's just doing a bit now. But
honest UK guy, where are you from, my friend? Because don't give me your address. I don't want any other UK brethren coming out to get you just because you said that about Joshua.
I think that email with Shelley, I think at the end of the day, he's never got back to Eddie Hearn after that email either. So surely if you was that desperate to make the fight, he instead of saying, "Oh, I haven't heard from him since October," surely you'd like chase it a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I get your train of thought. You're saying, hey, if you haven't heard from him, send a follow-up email.
That's right. Yeah, I don't understand that.
Well, everyone's being a diva, Everyone wants to be, not the A side per se, but everyone wants to have some sort of negotiation pool.
Or why aren't we asking, if you want to make the fight, why don't you send a response? They didn't want to make the fight. They want to make the Joseph Parker fight. That's why.
Because it's the easier fight to make.
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying it's not all one way. Surely if you're that desperate.
No, it is. It is one way. If you don't respond, then you obviously don't want to make the fight.
But listen, Steve, let's not go back and forth there. How much better is Joseph Parker than Carlos Takam?
I don't think he's that much better.
Oh wow.
I don't think he's that much better at all. And I think that's why they've got Takam in sparring now, Joshua. Same sort of height. It was a close fight between him and Parker. Do you know what I mean? I don't see how much more.
Damn. Wait a minute. Anthony Joshua has fucking Carlos Takam in for sparring?
Yeah, he's just got him in. Because they're trying to negotiate for Derek Chisora versus Takam on the undercard.
Yo, can you believe that?
Yeah.
I mean, and we got mad at Broner Granados. But I actually do like it better this way. I'd rather you fight him first, then become a sparring partner, than know him in sparring and then fight him.
Well, I mean, Wilder did that with Eric Molina.
Yeah, and with Duhaupas. He done it with Eric Molina. He done it with Duhaupas and Jarrell Miller.
We're talking professionals here or people that hide in the corner.
True. And you know what? I can't even argue because you're right. Takam at least puts up a fight. So, Molina, but you got to give Molina credit. He was one of the first men to land a good hand on Wilder. So can't really say he hit in the corner. Now I do get hiding in the corner versus Joshua. But listen, Steve, let me let you go. I got to get to what is now definitely our last caller, 816-651, 816-651. First time caller. Who's this? All right, going once. Oh.
Boxing Voice.
What's up, brother? Who's this?
Yo, can you hear me?
We hear you. Who's this?
What's going on, man? This is Zulu. Colorado, Missouri.
What's going on, Zulu?
How y'all doing today?
We're doing good.
All right, man. Hey, I just want to give a quick comment about the situation. But first, I want to say you guys doing an excellent job. Congrats to what you brothers are doing out there. Now, to Anthony Joshua remark, by now, we should know that there ain't nothing but a lot of smoke. It's a whole lot of smoke Eddie Hearn and Joshua are throwing to avoid Deontay Wilder. Bottom line, everybody that got an iPhone or ever have or ever been on social media knows that Deontay Wilder has been aggressively calling him out. And not only that, his Shelly Finkel has backed that up with paperwork with the meetings between the two. So this is nothing but a lot of smoke. And to degrade Wilder is foolish because he really should be thinking about him being pound for pound. And I'm going to tell you why. Not because of his skill set, but because everybody he's knocked out, they have been bigger than him pretty much. And so
wait. Could you repeat that? Because you sound a bit muffled. I don't know if you could talk right into the mic a little bit better. But you said everyone that he beat what?
Pretty much everyone that Deontay Wilder knocked out were bigger than him.
What do you mean by bigger?
Right? Like pounds?
Well, they weighed more. I understand by pounds is what I'm saying. I understand it's a heavyweight division, but still, that still has to be considered. He just knocked out Luis Ortiz, almost giving up 30 pounds. Now, I don't think Joshua's ever given up any kind of weight like that and performed at that level. Can you give me an example?
Yeah, but but no one can necessarily say that pounds translate to power, because look at Wilder. You know, he's showing that at 214,
well
he still has power. So
I understand that. But can we not say that this is an argument? Honestly, I understand but who else is doing that? Give me another fighter who's doing that.
I mean, not in this generation.
I mean, it has to be considered.
I don't know any other 214-pound heavyweights being dominant, but some would say it's not dominance. That's what you got to understand. He's got to start fighting some Brian Jennings, some Gerald Millers, some Adam Wanaki, some not even Brazil, because he already took a loss. You know, unless Brazil could get another good win. Brazil hasn't fought since Azunu. You know, but you need some young up and coming heavyweights, you know, that you could get some wins that the world knows, you know. But right now, his biggest win is Luis Ortiz.
You know, but you know, brother, to me, the way the heavyweight division is stacked right now, and the way that boxing is being promoted in America, instead of us educating those casual fans or those who don't really know boxing, we just go with what the eye test wants, what the eye wants. In other words, there's been some comments made that, you know, hey, nobody wants to see technical fighters. They just want to see fighters go in there and knock one another out. Or the so-called quote-unquote Mexican style.
That's not true, because Mikey Garcia gets good views, and he's a technical fighter, and he had San Antonio packed, and everyone was excited that he won a 4th title. And he's not traditional Mexican.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm saying, though, but it's been put out there by trainers. We know Abel Sanchez comments and things like that. It's been put out there that you're not marketable unless you fight or you act a certain way, a certain style.
Yeah, but you got to understand.
We know Mayweather.
You got to understand, man. Over here,
Mayweather debunked that.
Yeah, but over here we understand reality. Abel Sanchez has an agenda, my friend. He has an agenda, and that's why he made those comments.
No doubt. But we still have to educate people that when we see a fighter that may not be in there just standing toe-to-toe brawling, and me personally, when I watched the Wilder Ortiz fight, Wilder was calling with that jab. He's fighting with southpaw, who's a counterpuncher. And I know you guys have talked about that. He's toying with it. He's trying to get timing. And when he found his timing, he did exactly what a true champion is supposed to do. He took him out. So to me, I mean, a lot of people are going to have a lot to say about what he looks like and what he's doing. The way he set Luis Ortiz up, to me as a boxing fan, and I'm 49 years old, brother. I'm a 3-time combat veteran. For me, being as embodied in boxing as I am, I'm getting more excited about it now, like back in the 80s. In the 90s,
brother, listen. Let me excite you a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and play a Nazeem Richardson quote on the way out of here, but we do have to go. It was a spontaneous show. Matt, check that 915. Make sure it's not one of our boomerangers or anything like that. And let me just play this here.
Breland got him doing things with him, making his mechanics better, but he's so young and excited in the position he's in. He's still fighting on that adrenaline. When guys fight in the street and don't realize their eye is cut and stuff like that, he's still fighting on that. That's how green he is. Okay, I'll tell you like this. And Deontay Wilder's my man. I dig him as a person. That's my boy. And I'll tell you like this. People say Joshua is better than Deontay Wilder. So is everybody else he fought. All right, sugar. Everybody skill-wise that you've ever seen Deontay Wilder in front of were better than him.
One of the issues that the older sports writers had with him was his unorthodox style. He was leaning back and away from punches. Well, everybody knows that somebody just needs to step forward, you're off balance, and hit you.
Angelo just tried to build on what Cassius Clay did naturally.
Breland got him doing things with him, making his mechanics better, but he's
Matt, you did you peep that?
I didn't peep that last part.
How you ain't peep the last part?
Because that was quick, man. That was
You didn't peep that the comparison was like Nazim talking about Wilder and then Dundee, or I'm not sure if it was Dundee, but someone talking about Ali and their awkward styles. You ain't peep that.
I've heard a lot of those comparisons with Price Nassim and Ali as like,
like which I call it ugly right now. You're gonna be worshiping in a few years.
So I've heard a little more critical comparisons to
like what? We got two more callers. They just keep popping up. We got Compa over here, and we got my man Alex and
I've heard people say that like Wilder is a C version of Prince Nassim, and Prince Nassim is a C version of Roy Jones.
But wait a minute, isn't Prince Nassim's biggest win Kevin Kelly?
Yes, but in terms of technique, in terms of
Wilder goes on to beat Joshua, essentially it's topping season. But let me get to Compa in Los Angeles. I actually am all ready for him.
What's up, Boxing Boys? What up, Matt? What up, Ness?
What up?
Yeah, man. Just to touch on the Anthony Joshua comments, I think it's a distraction from the Wilder fight. But man, all I gotta say is, man, they gotta make the fight ASAP, man. Every podcast I listen to, people talk about Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, man. So they just gotta make the fight. And that's the biggest fight in boxing, man. It's a bigger fight than Triple G Canelo 2. And that's all I got, baby. You already know Mikey Garcia, 4-way world champion, pound for pound, baby. And that's it. Good looking out, Boxing Boys.
Compa, we love you, brother. Keep it up. We're going out to Alex in Canada. What's up, brother?
Yo, not much, man. I just had to call in when I hear you guys talking about the weights. Because that's one thing I find so impressive, man. I've been watching boxing for a long time, and I give Wilder credit on this. To be knocking out people at 214 in this era of heavyweight, this nowadays. Come on, a lot of people were talking about how, like, the guys that back in the day could never win a title because nowadays the heavyweights are so big and so like, heavy, like 240, like Big Baby's 280. Like, we get, like the guy who Davey Hay beat, that 7-footer who was like 290 or some shit like that. I forgot his name. In this era of heavyweights, it's super impressive to be the champion at 214, bro. I think that's just insane. Like, have you ever seen? I used to work for this guy who was a linebacker. Man, no matter how hard I hit, I'm like 190 some. There's no way I could knock this guy out. That guy was like 300 pounds. His back was huge, his neck muscles. Like, there's no way you knock a guy like that out at 200 pounds. And Wilder's doing it, man. That's insane, bro. That guy hits hard as fuck, man. And it's super impressive. And just like we did.
Alex, does that even mean? That doesn't mean that he hits harder than Joshua. And for starters, Joshua has 100% knockout ratio. Plus, hold on. Even though you're impressed with Wilder doing it at a smaller weight, traditionally we know heavy men hit harder, and Joshua's 248 with muscles. He might hit hard as fuck.
No, man, I'm telling you. First of all, we know that 100% KO ratio is bullshit, bro. I watched.
Whoa! What do you mean bullshit? What do you mean bullshit?
Decision, bro. The guy just stepped in and was like, "No, man, KO for Joshua. We're stopping it right here." Everybody knows the Takan fight was a decision. I don't care what anybody says, bro. You know this. Everybody that saw that fight knows it was a decision, bro. And dude, Joshua is putting these guys, they're out on their feet. It's the referee stepping in. Wilder is putting them the fuck out, bro. Like, they're like glitching in the floor. Like, what the hell?
Nah, man, you're just a Wilder fanboy.
That for Stavern in the first.
It's not that, bro. I really think Wilder's better, man. Quicker and stronger, man. Like, he's faster.
How is he better, bro? AJ has better footwork. He's standing. At least his feet don't come up when he throws his right hand. He countered Charles Martin. His back foot didn't raise up. You know, Wilder's balance is all over the place.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, everybody that it's like Nassim Richardson said, man. These people who are better than that Wilder keep getting, they lose, man, because once you get in there and he just got that quick ass right hand, all the technical defense, when you don't see the punch coming, doesn't matter, bro. And he's fast, bro. For a heavyweight at 214 and 6'9", bro, that's like a whip. Like quick as fuck. You don't see him, man. Like, look at Ortiz's face in the 5th round, bro. I swear to God, I didn't even know he got hit, bro.
Bro, you're only impressed. You're only impressed because he beat your guy. You picked Ortiz because of nationalism.
I was high on Wilder before he beat Ortiz. That's why I thought he was gonna win too. But man, no way, bro. Like Ortiz is scary. I mean, Wilder's scary, bro. This guy is like 6'7".
Well, listen, Alex, I got to cut you off because people are going to say I gave you too much time because you're talking highly of Wilder. Oh, my God, Matt, these phone lines just got ridiculous. It's really up to you. We've been on 51 minutes. We got 328 people watching us live. We have not gotten to over 100 thumbs up. We have not gotten one super chat. No one's called in and said how much they love the show. No one said, Matt, your birthday. Nothing like that. So it's totally up to you. If you don't want to get to the rest of these 100 callers, it's totally up to you.
I don't know. I'm pretty sad thinking about that right now. I say we go for at least one more caller. If we don't get to 100 likes or a $15 super chat. And remember, if you get a $15 super chat, you get a free shirt. Well, not free shirt, but you get a shirt for way cheaper than what you would normally get. So definitely do that, and then we can keep going. So we're going to take one more phone call. And if those two things do not happen, or one of those two things is going to happen, we're going to have.
We got to 100 already, Matt. We're at 109.
Oh, then never mind. We're going to keep going.
We technically have like 428 at the least.
But we are going to drive by.
We're going to do drive by. 860-794. First time caller. Who's this?
Yes. This is Tyrese calling in from Connecticut.
Tyrese, what's up?
I want to say firstly, I listen to you guys' show a lot. I appreciate what you guys are doing for many reasons, but I'm not going to waste time on a call about that. I'm gonna say something that's completely different from what anyone else said, and I think the first problem, before I get into my actual point, the first problem Deontay Wilder has is his promoter Lou DiBella is doing a horrible job with him. That's where we start at. I don't know how he's still a promoter. He should be fired by now. He's on a horrible job with the best fighter. He's the best talker. With a guy like Wilder, he should be known worldwide at this point and have much better competition. That's one side. The other thing is, if you look at Wilder and his training, even when he does his live media sparring, his mitt guy is so terrible. I don't even know why he's doing mitts. Deontay Wilder never gets a good workout. He can't increase his skill set because his mitt guy is terrible. I don't know if you guys see the same thing that I see, but when he is training with his mitt guy, you look at the likes of Floyd Mayweather, look at some of the heavyweights, Muhammad Ali, Evander Holyfield, and even Tyson in his day. When you look at their training and the mitt work that they're getting in, you can look at them and say, hey, these guys are getting better. But when you look at Deontay Wilder's mitt guy, he can barely hold his mitts up for 30 seconds. So that's a lot of things that's a lot of problems that Deontay Wilder has before anything. But with that being said, we all know that Deontay Wilder does not have the best skill set in boxing. Let's call it what it is. I feel like in sports, especially in boxing, the best boxer never wins. It's the one who fights the best on that night who always wins. So you don't have to be better than the guy for 364 days of the year. You only have to be better than them on that one night. And I think that one night, no one can figure it out. They have a game plan, but when they get in the ring with Deontay Wilder, all of a sudden they forget who they are and they all get knocked out. What do you guys think on that as far as like Deontay Wilder? He has 38 to 40 professional fights now. It doesn't seem like his skill set is improving.
Ness, you want to take that one first?
I threw a lot at you. Let's start, with the horrible Lou DiBella.
I agree to a point. I think if you had a promoter with that was more focused on Wilder, in a sense. I think Lou DiBella is focused on a lot of things at this point. And you had him go through the media circuit a lot. You put him through the late night circuit. You have to do those things in order to be a star. If you looked at other people in combat sports and how they were eventually put over to that top of 1 million pay-per-view buys, they started doing the late night circuit. They started doing SNL. They started doing those things. Wilder has yet to do that. His biggest outreach to those casual fans is a reality TV show that is minimal in terms of reach. So they need to put him out there more. I don't know if that's a promoter issue. I don't know if that's a Heyman issue. I don't know who's in charge of that. I don't know who's making those decisions in camp to say that's Lou's issue, but I agree that there's an issue with that overall. In terms of training, in terms of mitt work, in terms of whatever, that criticism, I do think that he needs to implement some more trainers into camp. Maybe add someone in there as a secondary coach or a third coach, because you have JD and Mark Breland. You need to mix it up something, right? You need to do something right now, because to me it's stagnated. I've not seen an improvement of skill from fight to fight over time. That concerns me. And I forget what the last point was, to be honest.
Well, he said the last point was the skill set. Do you see it changing?
No, I do not.
Him getting better.
I do not. That concerns me, because I've heard people say that he's reached his ceiling.
I don't see how you could reach a ceiling and just passed your toughest test,
because what he
had flaws that haven't been corrected, so to speak, theoretically, right?
I mean, but offensively,
could have been exposed.
Offensively, what has he really drastically changed from, let's say, the Stavern first fight when he won the championship?
I would say accuracy.
But to me, I haven't seen a drastic change in that or anything else in this game. But I don't see
name another heavyweight.
I don't see any attention to the body offensively.
Yeah, but I didn't say body. I said accuracy.
I don't see it. I know that, but that's a very limited thing. Accuracy.
Yeah.
And even then,
because this is the thing, he already has tremendous power. So by working on the accuracy, he's been able to lower the amount of rounds that he fights. This is like the first time he's gone rounds in a long time.
What do you mean? I mean,
what do you mean? What do I mean? I mean that other heavyweights in the division are going 12-round decisions or at least 10 rounds, where Wilder has been able to improve his accuracy over the years and fight less rounds.
Wilder went 12 with Stavern. What was it? 11 with Spielka.
12 with Stavern. No, he did not go 11 with Spielka. That's got to be a lie. I'm looking it up now just for you starting a lie.
I don't mean to.
You lied.
Off the dome right here, man.
You lied, and if you can lie about that, you can lie about everything. So I'll just go ahead and get it myself.
Okay, go on BoxRec. Let's get all the rounds in his title reign. Okay, let's do this.
We don't even have to do that. All we have to do is listen. We don't have to do that. All we have to do is see how many rounds box compared to everyone else, doggy.
Well, it would be probably more than a lot because he has 40 fights, I would assume.
Well, he has 123 rounds boxed.
How much does Joshua have?
Lewis had 133. Okay, Lewis Ortiz. So let's see.
How many fights?
Joshua.
Oh, before you answer that, a couple super chatters. Eric Cruz, Ronald, and Gregory Wyatt. Thank you all.
Joshua has 65 rounds boxed with 20 fights.
So half the number of fights and half the number of rounds. That's probably the same ratio of rounds, I would say. Per fight, you can probably break it.
219 rounds box. You see the difference? But let's keep going, because we started at the top. Joshua and Wilder are the top. They are the two men everyone wants to see. Pulev.
Now, can you answer me this?
What? 174 for Pulev.
How many rounds did he box with Spielka? Because you called me a liar for that.
Yes.
I want to get the number on that. Actually, I'm very curious.
Let's check it. Spielka 9. You still were wrong.
Hey, did you hear my secondary guess was 9? I was like 9. So hey, I was wrong, but my second guess was 9. Duhopis was what?
Remember that Deontay. Listen, remember we did the statistics, and Deontay had got 51%. 49% knockouts in the first round of his resume.
But he's only had 1 first-round knockout in his title reign.
In his title reign, okay, that's fine. But he still has half of it. So we're still talking about rounds boxed. So remember,
again, I'm only talking about with competition that is adequate. I don't care about you fighting some jobbers in the beginning of your career and you knocked down in the first round.
Okay, but that's the whole point. My thing was after Stavern, he's been able to do less rounds.
That's not necessarily true. You said 9 rounds is a lot of rounds with Spielka. Who else?
9 with Molina.
That's a lot. That's almost in championship rounds. Okay.
11 with Duhopis.
That's championship rounds with Duhopis.
Spielka
9.
Areola 8.
Okay.
But look, you see how it's going down systematically because he's getting better. Washington 5. Stavern 1. Stavern 1, and then on his toughest test with the best technical skill, 10. Which was unexpected because after him suffering that beat down in the 7th, taking the 8th off, we all thought it was either Lewis gonna knock him out or he was gonna go a 12-round decision and lose on the cards. We just didn't see him having the power to come back because he was so drawn out. His hands were down. I mean, he looked bad. So that was impressive to me.
Again, I see a guy that's going a lot of rounds with in his title reign. I see that. He may not be going the distance, but he's still going a lot of rounds for a guy that has this amazing knockout power that's quote unquote improving, like you said, his accuracy and timing drastically, as you said. That would be different.
Well, Gerald Washington was a young top 10 heavyweight that he got out in 5 rounds.
He was not top 10. He had fought no one at that point.
Spielka
lost his next fight to Big Baby Miller. Come on.
And Big Baby Miller's good. What the fuck?
Because Big Baby Miller is actually a top 10 heavyweight. Gerald Washington is not a top 10 heavyweight. Come on, man.
Think about it, bro. He took Wilder and off of a Wilder fight. Like you said, no, let me talk. Let me talk. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Like you said yesterday, I just want to refresh your memory. Like you said yesterday, you discredited someone for their win because he was coming off of a loss or something like that. That's the same thing that happened to Washington. After being knocked out in the 5th round, he should not have gotten the first fight be with a 298-pound guy who, no matter how hard you hit, doesn't feel your punches.
You are absolutely correct. But you know what he did?
No. So for you to write Washington off because he did take a big fight on a comeback fight.
Fighting Ndongo off. You wrote Ndongo off against Prograis, did you not?
No. Ndongo wrote himself off by being dropped in the fight with numerous jabs.
Yo, come on.
Ndongo wrote himself off by the fight ending in 1 round, okay? Wasn't it a first-round knockout?
No, that was the second round.
Oh, wow. Whip-de-doo. He played rounds.
But anyways, digressing, I haven't seen much technical change in Wilder from the beginning of his time.
This spiraled so deeply. This is ridiculous.
Anyways, we can go back to the callers.
That caller was great with that one. He fucking Tyrese.
Great call, Tyrese. Definitely.
Tyrese sent us on a half-an-hour tirade right there. Legendary boxer, come on in.
Another half-hour tirade afterwards.
What's going on, guys? I'm fucking sick of these AJ fucking protection squad in the chat room always talking about ticket sales and fucking Ortiz's age. When Ortiz is 39 and Vlad is 42, and Ortiz has way faster hands and way faster feet than the old-ass Vlad grandpa. How is that even possible if Ortiz is older than 39, but he has a faster hands and faster footwork than Vlad? Can somebody explain that to me?
I can't, man.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
Matt, can you explain it?
Matt, explain it, Matt. You know he wants to bait you in.
I don't want to debate because I don't find that.
What did you say? Wouldn't you say Ortiz's footwork and hand speed was way faster than Vlad in the fight against Wilder?
Definitely the foot speed. I don't know about the hand speed. I would have to watch the Vladimir Klitschko fight again.
compared to Vlad looks slow as hell. Vlad looked like a
come on. That's a retarded argument you guys are having here. Oh, he was faster than this guy.
They keep bashing Ortiz's age because he's his best win, and they keep praising AJ for beating a 42-year-old grandpa coming off a 2-year retirement.
But two wrongs don't make a right.
The coffin for these English bums. Huh?
Two wrongs don't make a right. Two wrongs don't make a right.
It's not a wrong. I'm just trying to prove that Ortiz has better footwork and better hand speed and foot speed. And how could he be older than Vlad if that's the case? If he's older, he should be slower, right?
I guess
we've seen B-Hop be great in his 50s, man. Like I don't even care about that argument. That's some fanboy shit.
Also, all these guys talking about U.S. is irrelevant. I just want all these fucking British fanboys to know when Hitler was taking over England, it was us Americans that went over there and saved this dumbass country.
Come on, Jesus Christ, Matt, you're slow. T from Toronto, talk to me.
Yo, how the hell did this spiral into Hitler and Nazis and war and shit?
No idea, T.
And this guy, right, he is. I love him, but he's like he loves to be the crusader. Like it's crazy, but I get it.
All right, let's get back to boxing, man. Let's get back to boxing. But hey, shout out to y'all for that Anthony Juice Young interview. It's a good friend of mine, man. We go way back. Look out for him coming up.
Yo, that little interview's doing well too. It got some legs, man.
Yeah, that's my dog. That's my dog. One of the callers was talking about punches, and you was saying like, yo, normally it's the bigger, more dense guy that hits a little bit harder, or whatever the case may be. But if you look at some of the hardest punches, pound for pound, over time, like Thomas Hearn and Julian Jackson, they built like Deontay Wilder. There's something about that frame and being able to snap and get guys on the end of the punch that generates a lot of power. Even Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford looks like a stick. He's wide, but he's not a very dense guy. But when he touches you, everybody feel it. So I still think that Wilder punches harder than Anthony Joshua, believe it or not. But that's not going to be the whole deciding factor of the fight. I think it's the awkwardness. And he was saying to change him or that he need to refine his style or improve. Leave that boy alone. His awkwardness is what makes him special. It's what made Nas special. It's what made Roy Jones special. It's what made Maidana difficult for Mayweather. When you're too conventional, it's easier to defend because you know exactly where the punch is coming from. You know when they're coming. Most of those guys have to set shit up with a certain thing. Wilder is so unorthodox and so naturally gifted that he gets away with being the not most technically skilled fighter because he will get that punch home because you're not expecting it. It's not coming from the same angle that you're doing all the pad works with and all that shit. That's what makes him so live, mixed with the power. That's why Anthony Joshua will have problems. That's why anybody will have problems against Deontay Wilder. He's 6'7", he's extremely long, he punches hard, and he's awkward as fuck. Do not change that. The moment you change that is the moment you make him an ordinary fighter because he will never catch up skill-wise. If he's 40 fights in and he hasn't caught up skill-wise yet, he won't catch up skill-wise now. You can't change him now. He's set in his ways. Accuracy, like you said, Ness, is the key, and he is very accurate for awkward punches. So was Nas, so was Jones. And we saw a lot of people go to bed. Let that nigga do what he does. Shout out to the boxing voice. I know ain't nobody saying nothing about your birthday, man. Happy birthday to you, kid. Stay up.
Thanks, dude.
T, man, thanks for calling in, brother. Good to see you still rocking out. We're going out to Florida, Orlando. Talk to us. 407-720. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Ladies and gentlemen. This is Russ.
Russ, first time caller?
What's going on?
First time caller?
First time caller. Original New Yorker. I'm in Florida now. Yeah.
All right. So talk to us, Russ.
Happy birthday, by the way. Okay. Let me start off by saying this that isn't being said. I used to box. I'm 6'7", 250 pounds now. And one thing that someone or no one is talking about is tall guys like us, we have leverage behind our power. So when we're fighting somebody, even somebody is 6'3" or 6'4", we're punching down. And that generates more power also. Wilder, he doesn't have footwork and he's unconventional, like another caller said. But that's one of the things that made Marcos Maidana a threat. because he was unconventional. Mikey Garcia has a whole country standing behind him. And he's conventional. He's a great fighter. I like him. Joshua has better footwork than Wilder, like everybody else did. But they were all getting knocked out. Because in reality, none of the boxers have footwork today like they had back in the day as far as using a pivot or anything else. Wilder isn't marketed, and I hate to say it, but facts and facts are facts. If you don't have a country standing behind you and you're a black fighter, unfortunately, you have to make noise in order for people to recognize you. And even if you're a great guy, a good role model like an Andre Ward or whatever, you're either considered boring or you're not pushed by HBO or you're not heavily marketed. And that's the unfortunate part to it. So Wilder is the only person I ever heard of where he could have 100% knockout ratio of everybody that he's fought, and people want to complain about it. How do you complain with a winner? A lot of people can sit up there and say he has weaknesses and everything else. Let the person that actually put him on his behind and beat him have the credibility to say that. If everybody else doesn't want to step in the ring with him, they can't say it. Ortiz, they can say he's 70 years old, all he wants. That man has gotten ducked by everybody, including being Joshua's mandatory. And in my opinion, even Klitschko would have ducked Ortiz because, in my opinion, Ortiz was a bigger threat than a 40-year-old Klitschko. Hello?
We hear you, brother. We just giving you the floor. That's what we do around here. It's the voice of the people, so we let you voice your opinion.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Wilder, normally anybody else that has 40 knockouts or 39 knockouts and 40 fights doesn't have to be heavily marketed. You know why? And they shouldn't have to talk as much. Look at these Eastern European fighters that are being pushed by HBO. Do you think Sergey Kovalev, who doesn't have the amount of knockouts and everything like that, he doesn't have to step up and talk junk? Neither does Triple G or none of them because they're being heavily marketed. If Wilder was heavily marketed,
Triple G was being marketed for his knockouts.
Say that again?
Triple G was being marketed by his knockouts.
No. I know. I'm saying Triple G and Kovalev don't have to talk junk.
Oh yes, got it.
Stuff like that because they're marketed right. They're marketed the right way. The only thing that anybody needs to say about Wilder as far as being marketed is the man is knocking everybody out. That alone should propel all the haters back. But it's not. And you know why? And I hate to say it, because he doesn't have a country standing behind him. Even in this country, we don't follow and honor our black fighters. They'll pick somebody from a different country, whether it's
Russ, I hate to be that guy, but we give everybody 3 minutes. And listen, keep listening because you know I love Wilder, but I have to be unbiased and cut you at 3 minutes, even if you're talking highly of Wilder or bad of Wilder or not. These guys will kill me in the chat. But listen, great call, Russ. Hope you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get those notifications. But you got to click that notification bell. If not, follow us on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, or Blog Talk, wherever you get those notifications so you know we're going live. Matt, you got a message. What's up?
When you talk about like, you know, black fighters have to make noise, I definitely agree and understand that logic and sentiment. Wilder does that. And I think we need to start, as U.S. fans, understand that Wilder is somewhat of a star. He may not be the household name that a Mayweather is or even a Pacquiao is.
60 seconds.
But he is one of the highest rating guys, if not the highest rating guy on Showtime. He did the second highest rating gate in Barclay history for boxing. Like, the guy does numbers.
And he's the only fighter outside of like maybe AB, right? AB coined AB, about billions. Everybody knew that. But other than Bomb Squad, who else has like a go-to thing,
Again, I think that our perception of, a star is that they must get, 20+ mil fight and do pay-per-view. You can be a star and not do that still. Wilder is still arguably, and I would argue this, a top 10 star in the sport. And I would love for anyone to argue that with me. So the guy does numbers. We have to start putting that into perspective.
All right. Speaking of numbers, we're doing some good numbers, and we got a lot of callers. Even though she's saying 10 seconds, if you're on the line and you pressed 1, we'll get to your call because we're cutting the line right now. Boom. It's done. It's over.
Thank God.
But whoever is there, you do get to talk. So make sure you pressed one, you're there, you're safe. That being said, if you want us to get to those callers and these other dozen or so on Skype, we need to see this thing say 250 likes. I'm just saying, Matt. I mean, I don't like that 140. I don't even like that division. Crawford left that division. Give me 250, at least 248. That's AJ's weight, right? We need to. I'm gonna go ahead and press it. Boom! I put it at 141.
I already pressed it, so I can't. I'm sorry. But very quickly, Ness, we do have
145. Do we see 146? Can we see? Do we see 146? Oh, 149. Do we see 150? Where's 150? There we go.
There we go. Come on, now let's get to 200.
Now, all we need is 100. Where's 250 at? Come on, we got 154. All right. Let's go.
Yo, ringer.
Chill. You trying to bring callers on? We trying to get to 250 over here.
I'm just letting you know that we have a boomeranger, and unfortunately, I do have to leave the shop to go pick up my kid from preschool.
Oh, he dropping out on me.
Hey, my kid needs to be picked up from preschool. I gotta pick him up, man. I'm sorry.
Pick him up. All right.
I got it. Hey, if you're still on when I get back, I'll come back.
Be on because I'm a soldier.
Okay, you do that.
I'm a soldier, but I need my 250. Look, Matt abandoned ship. I can end it right now. Oh, he left me for good. I'm all alone now. It's over. I'm alone. Where's my sad music? I officially have no one here. And I still haven't gotten to 250 likes, and I got all these callers to get to. I would appreciate those 250 likes to come immediately. We're going to go out to our boomerang. If you don't know what boomerang is, head on over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. Now, this is one of the more exclusive tiers, and it's not for everyone. But if you do not like waiting in line and you like doubling up on your call, maybe we said something that made you want to call us up, but you've already waited online once, you're not ready to come back. Well, check us out on patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice for boomerang status, like my good friend in LA, compa. We're going back out to him.
What up, Boxing Voice?
What up, compa?
Nah, I just wanted to say this too, man. I don't know how people weren't impressed with Wilder, man. The boy could take a hit. He got a chin. He didn't fall. Man, as soon as when he got rocked by Ortiz in that 7th round, man, I thought it was over. I got up, went to the restroom. I'm like, man, I don't want to see this shit. But the fact that he survived that round, man, people should be giving him props, man. Because look, come on, AJ got cracked by one right hand by Klitschko and he fell on the floor, and people praise that shit. But Wilder, he didn't fall. He weathered the storm, and he got through it. And then also, man, and then too, I don't know how people don't call out the fact that Luis Ortiz was signed to Eddie Hearn, but he never fought Joshua, and he was promised that fight. But people never bring that shit up because it's Anthony Joshua. Had that shit been Deontay Wilder, everybody would be shitting on him, man. And I think Wilder could be a bigger star than Floyd, man, because he's a heavyweight and he has a good personality. And that's pretty much it, man. Everybody just likes to shit on a fighter when they're confident and they got a personality. But we got to be behind the U.S. fighters, you know, because I think Wilder is a superstar, man. He could be on, he should be on like wrestling, like on a WWE and shit. Because that's the type of personality he has. But good looking out, Boxing Voice. Hey, let me get a bomb squad, man. Let me get that bomb squad. Good looking out.
Bomb squad!
Yeah. AJ, baby, keep running your
Tyson
mouth.
Fury walk in the ring on the night.
That's what a lot of people have been saying. Nothing's been locked in.
Is this part of mind games? Is it, you know, is it something that you'd like to happen? Is this,
Well,
you know,
we're good friends, so you never know what can happen come fight night.
Does that make a difference to you?
I'll punch him out the ring as well. Tyson's a clown, man. I'm not worried about no one else. You know, Wilder could have been here. Wilder could have been fine, but he didn't step up. He talked it, but he didn't step up. He did. That's the difference. And that's why I respect and I have to honor the challenge.
We're going out to Northern California zone. Alex Lemon.
I won't deny you.
DeBeyoncé Productions.
Come with me. Hail Mary, run quick, see what do we have here now?
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
DeBeyoncé Productions.
Good shit. Oh, what's up, Nestor? You hear me?
I do now, my friend.
All right. Hey, way to hold it down, man. Hey, man, I'm confused why no one's saying Joshua's ducking. I mean, Joshua gets his pass that Wilder doesn't. I don't want no sad music being played and stuff right now, but Wilder, he has a belt, and if he doesn't fight anybody of importance, then he's fighting bums. But Joshua has 2 belts, but yeah, he, when he makes a move, it's a good business plan. Like, I don't see the Wilder fight happening for another 2 fights, maybe, if you have Miller next and then maybe Fury after that. But Wilder, he's fighting Luis Ortiz, who was dangerous. Everybody was saying it, like, this past year, everyone was saying Luis Ortiz is King Kong. He's a beast. But now that Wilder beat him in a great performance with him risking almost getting knocked out himself, comes back, gets the win, yet he still doesn't get the credit. And now Luis Ortiz is an old bum. And so that trips me out right there. I don't understand it. I don't understand that U.S., now that when we support our American champion, now we're the Wilder voice. You know what I mean? So that doesn't make sense. Then I was wondering if you copyrighted that AJ protector yet, man, because we're gonna need that. That's gonna blow up because they're protecting them big time. Also, one more thing, had a question from a follower, one of our followers from Twitter, man. This guy named Parnell Dolan. He had a good question. He said, "Does the Wilder that beat Ortiz beat the Klitschko that Joshua beat?" So I'll leave that with you.
I mean, look, man. You know what I'm going to say. That question is more for the listeners, and it's a good question, brother. Look, thanks for calling in, Alex, and thanks for relaying that question on Twitter. Just keep in mind that our team is strong, and we have guys like Alex and Rob checking all social media, making sure that we are able to, keep in correspondence with one another. Let's get out to Ed Brown in the UK. Talk to me, Ed.
Nah, this is in Alabama, man.
Oh shit, my bad, brother. Usually we get a lot of Skype callers on from out of states. But talk to us.
It's all good. Well, I mean, I'm just keeping it real, man. I'm starting to really wonder about AJ, man. This guy, man, talking about Wilder, because I mean, anyways, if you want to make the fight, you're going to make the fight. Speaking of that question where the guy was just asking about, would that Wilder have beat Klitschko? Of course, because he would have hit him with that right hand and put him to sleep. Let's not overestimate Klitschko's chin. That's the reality of the situation. He was a long-ran champion, but he had been knocked out several times. He sat around for 2 years. I don't care about all these back and forth. Bottom line is, I know if Wilder fights AJ, he wins. That's all it is. Let's see the fight. Let's make it happen. Let's not talk shit from across the pond. Come over here and fight AJ. Do it in Vegas. Do it in Britain, wherever you want to do it. And let's get it over with. That's my call.
Brother, thanks for calling in. We're going to go out to V in Jacksonville. Talk to me.
What's poppin', man? Listen, I watched the gloves are off thing. Everything's good, man. But I watched the gloves are off thing with AJ. And I was just seeing that, to me, he looks a bit more dialed in. When I watched the footage the other day of him working out and everything, he looks more slim, faster. So that's a good sign. I think he's preparing himself for Wilder in the future. That's my personal. I just think he's calculating. That's my personal viewpoint on that. I don't think it's necessarily a duck. I think the whole point is he knows it's coming already. You know what I mean? I don't I think he's already seeing the signs and he's slimming down and preparing for it. If you look at Parker, he's actually slimming down too. For the fight, he wants to be faster because he thinks that AJ is going to be bulky. So he's going to try to make it a contest where he can make it a little, where he's like, okay, well, I'll be able to beat him to the punch. You know what I'm saying? And but I think AJ's preparing for Wilder. I think that's exactly what's going on. And with the skill set that AJ has, I just think it's the biggest threat to Wilder. I think he's going to lose at least one of these matches that they have. Maybe not. I think if they have a trilogy, Wilder ends up getting the best in the end. But I think he's going to learn from a match with AJ. That's my personal. Because it was like with Ortiz, it was like his flaws were on display the way you expected them to be with somebody of Ortiz's caliber. So what if you put in somebody of Ortiz's caliber who's younger, right? The hand speed is pretty nice. When I saw him the other day in training, his hand speed looked great. So I think it's going to be a learning experience, honestly. I think this is Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, too. That's my personal... but I think Wilder's going to get one from AJ as well. I think when the rematch happens, whoever wins the first, the second is going to go to the other guy. And then it's going to set up a huge third. But I think Wilder is going to learn from an AJ fight because his flaws were on display versus Ortiz. And I don't think the youth factor is not being put out there. They're not that different on the height scale either. So and I understand he's our American champ and everything like that. I'm not trying to bash the man. I'm just saying AJ's special too, you know, and that's why I think this is an opportunity for both men. I don't know who's going to take the first one. You know, my favorite heavyweight of all time is Lennox Lewis. You know, so I have a small bias towards AJ. You know, but I personally think it's going to be that type of fight where his flaws are going to be on display again, and I think that he has a strong right hand too. So
V, that is your time. You're hitting after the bell, V. Thanks for calling in. We're going out to Mike in Dallas. Talk to us.
Hey man, I watched the Ortiz and Wilder fight, and I think what Wilder was doing was the rope-a-dope. I don't think he was hurt in the 7th round. I think it was all just a show. He was just trying to
V. I mean, not V. Mike, Mike. Look, I'm probably a bigger Wilder fan than you, but come on. He was hurt. He took the next round
Nobody
off.
walks back to the rope. Nobody walks back to their corner, man, if they've been hurt that bad. Nobody.
But Mike, he took the next round off. He took the whole 8th round.
The whole point was to tire. Yeah, but the whole point was to tire Ortiz out, which he did, and then knock him out. That was the whole point. He has to tire him first, and then he can knock him out.
Oh, man. I wish that were true, bro. I can't wait to get back in camp.
I'm sold on Wilder now. Wilder's going to knock out AJ or anybody else, man. I'm sold on Wilder. Not only is he got this right hand, but he's also smart. The rope-a-dope was perfect, man. It was flawless.
Yo, you're sold on the rope-a-dope, huh?
I'm sold. I think it was a rope-a-dope. Ask him next time you see him, man.
Brother, Ortiz landed straight lefts down the pipe. Are you serious right now, or you're trolling me?
Nah, nothing happened to him, man. That's why he wasn't afraid of it. When the first time he got hit by that straight left hand, he was afraid of it. After he got hit with it, he wasn't afraid of it no more. So he said, "Okay, that's all you got? Okay, man, tire me." Just like Muhammad Ali did with George Foreman.
Yeah, but even Ali was getting hit, bro. Ali was getting hit. He just was able to be more durable, but he was getting fucking clobbered. That rope-a-dope shit ain't smart. I don't think it is anyway, but listen.
It is if you know it.
I mean, go ahead. You got 3 minutes. Don't worry. Until you hear that bell, it's all you.
Okay, thanks a lot, man.
No. You're still good. You got another 55 seconds to go, brother. That's what I'm saying. You have full 3 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, no, I think that's what it is. And I think, look at it, man. Look at it real close. If it was real and he was getting hit like that on the windmill and he was in that bad of shape, he would not have walked back to his corner the way he did. He was smiling when he walked back to the corner.
Yes.
If it was really hurt, he
smiling because he was happy to make it.
Like that.
He was happy to make it back. That's why he was smiling. Come on. Did you hear my immediate reaction to that? You got to go back and listen to it on iTunes, bro, or here on YouTube, wherever. It's official because, I was crazy nervous. I thought he was done in that round. I even thought that the ref could have stopped it in that round. 7th round was bad,
no way,
bro.
because I think it was fine. He was right on time. He knew exactly what he was doing. And he wanted AJ, Tyson, Fury, all of them to look at it and think that he ain't nothing.
Oh,
fight me! I'm nothing. Look at me. Look what Ortiz is doing to me in the 7th round. Come get me, AJ.
Mike, I love it. Thanks for calling in, brother. We got to go out to Vito. Talk to me, brother, on Skype.
Yeah, hello, Ness. You guys are hilarious, man. I think Wilder fans, AJ fans, you're all delusional. I've been listening to you guys. That's why I decided to call in. The guy that just spoke just now is fucking hilarious. Saying Wilder was doing a rope-a-dope. Was a rope-a-dope. He was hot. It was hot. Then the only thing I got to say about this is this. Wilder, AJ, they both got hot. And I just can't wait for them to be in the ring and then do what they do best and fight. They both got hot, and they both got the whole thing about Wilder is chinny, AJ is chinny. Those are just they are durable. They've got good chin. So all I want is at the end to keep to his words and have the fight done this year, because he said the fight will definitely be done this year. So I'm hoping the fight is next, and people should stop jinxing it by saying they're expecting it to be 2 fights next before the fight is done. I don't want to hear that. I want the fight to be next. I need to see these 2 guys fighting. That's my take on this. Thanks.
Vito, thank you for calling in, brother. I want to thank everybody who tuned in, everybody that's watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. We're trying to get to that 250 likes around here. We're talking AJ, Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker. We're going to go back to the tape really quick just to, give everybody another opportunity to hear the audio that was released on Gloves Is Off, making headlines for sure, at least for us, those that are definitely involved in the heavyweight division. I know you guys like heavyweights as much as I do, so we'll go to that and go to some more callers.
I'm hearing a few rumors that maybe Tyson Fury will walk in the ring on the night.
That's what a lot of people have been saying. Nothing's been locked in.
Is this part of mind games? Is it, is it something that you'd like to happen? Is this,
we're good friends, so you never know what can happen come fight night.
Does that make a difference to you?
I'll punch him out the ring as well. Tyson's a clown, man. I'm not worried about no one else. Wilder could have been here. Wilder could have been fine, but he didn't step up. He talked it, but he didn't step up. He did. That's the difference. And that's why I respect and I have to honor the challenge.
Bomb Squad! There you have it. That was the quote and the reason we did the show. If you enjoyed this, don't forget you could always support us by hitting the thumbs up button in the future, present, or past. You could also show your support by heading on over to Patreon and supporting us with a small donation. We'll give you a reward, and you'll get access to our exclusive Patreon-only feed that has tons of different content. We have Overtime podcasts. We have the Standing 8 podcasts over there. We also have Border Wars content. We release all our early content there before it's released to the public. And we also have Patreon-only interviews that we've done All our Deontay and Joseph Parker content is going to be going on Patreon first. So definitely head on over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. Join the movement. Help support the best boxing podcast out here, which, you know, your donations go to getting us to these other locations. We're currently trying to get to Toledo, Ohio to visit Robert Easter. We're in talks to visit Gennady Golovkin as well, waiting to iron some things out. David Benavidez is another one. So also, we have a new affiliation with mybookie.ag, where some of our listeners already do some betting, boxing betting, right? You could do all sports betting there, but obviously this is a boxing show, and we kind of stick to that. But yeah, if you use the promo code BETTBV, you'll be able to get 50% towards whatever you put down. You can head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com and just click on the banner of Canelo and Triple G. It says big as hell on both mobile and desktop. It says MyBookie. Remember, put in the promo code BETTBV to get 50% sign-up bonus up to $1,000. So if you put up $1,000, they'll give you a free $500 just for using BETTBV. And, they got a good betting line right now. Joseph Parker is currently a plus 600, which means for my UK guys, he's a 6-1. Bet $100 and, gain 600 if you think he's going to do it. There's obviously prop bets and things like that we are going to delve into deeper and give you more detail. We'll probably start doing a little segment using MyBookie and maybe even getting a little TBV pot together, seeing how much money we could make betting. But I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram at NestGTO and on Twitter at NestGTO. I want to thank everyone again for tuning in. Don't forget, you could drop a 5-star review for the podcast over on iTunes. You could go ahead and subscribe to us on TuneIn, Stitcher, wherever iTunes are podcasts are found, and don't forget to tune and subscribe right here on YouTube to get those notifications whenever we go live. Peace.